my little scientist, and good morning to you all. Welcome to Gurukul English Medium School. How are you everyone? I know you all are safe at home. Do complete your classwork regularly. Here, welcome back to the English period and with a new lesson. But before starting the new lesson, do you know why I have called you the little scientist? Can anybody tell me? No? Okay, I will tell you why I have called you the little scientist. It is because today we are going to learn about science and will be doing one experiment. Experiment means a scientific procedure undertaken to make a discovery, and will be learning some new things. Let's start with our lesson number 4, your own book of science. In this lesson, there are 2 parts. In the first part, we will be doing a simple experiment, and in the second part, we will be learning what are hailstones and how they are formed. We will start with our first part, that is a simple experiment, but before that, I will tell you how to make your own book of science. You have to collect some of the simple but amazing experiments. For that, you can search in magazines, newspaper supplements, or on the internet. Collect any 5 or 8 experiments you like. Ask your parents or teachers whether the experiments are safe. Then try those experiments. If needed, take help of your parents or teachers. Write down the experiments on different pages in your book, and your own book of science is ready. Now, let's begin with your simple experiment, that is lifting ice. Here, we will start with our experiment. Could you lift an ice cube with a string? To start an experiment, what you need? Ice cubes, string, that is thread, and common salt. Place ice cubes in a dish. Place pieces of thread on each ice cube. Now, sprinkle some common salt on and near the thread on the ice cube. Wait for ice to melt. Children, your melting point means the temperature at which a substance changes from solid phase to liquid phase. Ice cubes will freeze again with the string. Because salt water has lower melting point. Hold one end of the thread and pick them up carefully. See, you can easily lift the ice without touching it. Try placing the thread in different ways to lift the ice. You can place the middle of the thread on the ice cube and lift the ice with both the ends. Yes, kids, did you understand the experiment? So, try this experiment at home and if needed, take help of your parents. Here, we have completed with the first part of your lesson. Now, let's move to the second part. Hey kids, good morning dear ones. Welcome to Gurukul English Medium School. How are you my little scientists? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. I am back with your English subject. Instead of a new lesson, I am here with the previous lesson, second part. I hope you all are enjoying your English subject. Not only English, but all the subjects. Let's have a look on what we have studied in your previous period. We have studied how we can make our own book of science and had learned an experiment of lifting ice. Kids, have you all tried this experiment at home? Yes, teacher. Very good. I know you all might have enjoyed doing the experiment. Today, we are going to start with our lesson number 4, your own book of science, part 2. That is puzzles in your surrounding. You know kids, our whole surrounding is of puzzles. Kids, of which puzzle are you thinking? No, not your game puzzles. It is about the puzzles in our surroundings, like why is the sky blue? Why the leopards have spots on its body? And many more. Same way, in our fourth lesson, second part, there is a puzzle. That is, why does it hail even in summer? But kids, do you know what is the meaning of hail? No, teacher. It's okay. Hail means small hard balls of ice that fall from the sky like rain. During summer season, we feel very hot as the sun shines brightly and the temperature is high. Then suddenly there are clouds in the sky and it starts raining. Normally, when it's raining, we see only raindrops. But in this situation, there is not just water, but even small hard balls of ice. Seeing this rain, we say it has started hailing. The small hard balls of ice are called hailstones. But kids, do you know why does it hail in the hot summer season? Yes? No one knows? It's okay. Here is someone who is going to tell you everything. Let's see. Who is it?
Hello kids. How are you everyone? Today I am going to tell you why does it hail in the hot summer season and how hailstones are formed. May I introduce myself first? Hail is a special type of rain. You don't see me very often since a hailstone only forms in a large thundercloud. Kids, do you know what is a thundercloud? Thundercloud is a cloud charged with electricity and producing lightning and thunder. Thunderclouds mostly form during summer. That's the time when the rays of the sun are especially strong and make many water particles rise into the sky. They create huge clouds with lots of water. The wind is blowing very hard in these clouds. High up in the cloud, the air is cold and the water drops there freeze into ice. That makes them heavier. Further down, the ice grains hit the water drops there. They stick to the ice grains and make them grow a bit more. This keeps on happening until the clumps of the ice grow too heavy to float and fall to the ground. That's what we call hail. Some hailstones can even reach to the size of a saucer ball.
Wow, hailstone! Thank you for explaining us how hailstones are formed.
So now, kids, I will take a leave. Bye. Take care.
Yes, kids, you saw now how hailstones are formed. But do you know that there are two types of hail? One is light hail and the other one is hailstorm. A light shower of hail can be a great fun to everyone. But when there is a hailstorm, it causes a damage to crops, plants and animals. Do you know, kids, in 2014, Maharashtra was hit by a series of hailstorms. The hailstorms devastated means completely destroyed. Thousands of acres of standing crops, birds and animals were killed and injured in large numbers. Farmers suffered heavy losses. It was a great natural calamity. Calamity means a terrible event that causes a lot of damage or harm. Kids, I hope you all have understood why does it hail even in summer and how hailstones are formed. So now we will be meeting in the next period with new lesson. Till then, stay home and stay safe. Bye. Take care. Hi kids. Good morning, my morning glories. May this day bring new opportunities. Welcome to Gurukul English Medium School. How are you, dear ones? I know you all are fine, but still you need to take care of yourself. I welcome you back to the English period and with a new lesson and something special today. I am not going to teach you just a simple lesson. I will be teaching you a lesson with the help of grammar. Yes, kids, today we will be learning a little of grammar part in English period. In grammar, we know noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, articles, punctuation, etc. But beside this, there is one more very interesting part of grammar, that is WH questions. Kids, do you have an idea what is a WH question? No, teacher. What is it? WH question is a question in English introduced by a WH word that requires information in answer rather than yes or no. It means WH questions starts with the WH word and it requires information in proper answer instead of only yes or no. Do you know which are the WH words? Teacher, what? Yes, kids. Very good, dear. WH words are what, why, when, how, where, who, whom, which, and whose. These WH words we use to collect a particular information. What we use for asking about a thing. What is your favorite color? Why we use for asking for a reason. Why do you say that? When we use for asking about a time of an event or activity. When do you wake up every day? How we use for asking about a procedure or method. How to make a cake. Where we use for asking about a place. Where can I obtain the books? Who we use for asking about a person who is at the door. Whom we use for asking about a person whom he is playing with. Which we use for asking about an option or choice, which is the largest city in the world. Whose we use for asking whose is it, whose keys are on the kitchen counter. These WH words teach us how to talk and behave with the people in the society. In our today's poem, that is 6 Honest Serving Men, the poet Rudyard Kipling has described his imagination in words in the poem by using WH words as his serving men. Who has taught the poet how to behave in the society? The poet not just used these teachings in the society, he behaved well-mannered with his serving men also. He made them travel very far away for work, but later on he used to give them rest also. He used to ask them to have their breakfast, lunch and dinner on time as they are also humans. He knew a little girl who had 10 million serving men, but she never behaved with them properly. This was just a small intro of the poem. Now, shall we start with our poem, that is 6 Honest Serving Men. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. The poet says that he keeps 6 honest serving men at home who taught him all he knew. Their names are what, why, when, how, where, and who. I send them over land and sea. I send them east and west. But after they have worked for me, I give them all a rest. The poet sends them over land and sea, east and west, for his work. But as they complete the poet's all the work, he gives them all a rest. I let them rest from 9 till 5, for I am busy then, as well as breakfast, lunch, and tea, for they are hungry men. The poet allows the serving men to take rest from 9 to 5, as at that time he is busy. He also allows them to take rest during breakfast, lunch, and tea, as they are also hungry by working whole time. But different folk have different views. I know a person small, she keeps 10 million serving men who get no rest at all. But the poet says different people have different opinions. He knows a small person who keeps 10 million serving men, but they do not get rest at all. She sends them abroad on her own affairs. From the second she opens her eyes, 1 million house, 2 million wares, and 7 million wives. The moment she opens her eyes, she sends them to various places to do her work. The poet says she sends 1 million house, 2 million wares, and 7 million wives. It means the small girl was never satisfied by the work of her serving men, and she never treated them properly. So kids, what did you understand from the poem? That different people have different opinions. Though we get the same teachings, still the behavior of all the people is different. Kids, I hope you all have understood the poem. Now, shall we recite the poem? Repeat after me. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. I send them over land and sea. I send them east and west. But after they have worked for me, I give them all a rest. I let them rest for 9 till 5, for I am busy then, as well as breakfast, lunch, and tea, for they are hungry men. But different folk have different views. I know a person small, she keeps 10 million serving men who get no rest at all. She sends them abroad on her own affairs. From the second she opens her eyes, 1 million house, 2 million wares, and 7 million wives. Kids, once again we will recite the poem and find out the rhyming words from it. Let's start. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. In the first stanza, the rhyming words are men, when. I send them over land and sea. I send them east and west. But after they have worked for me, I give them all a rest. In the second stanza, the rhyming words are see, me, west, rest. I let them rest from 9 till 5, for I am busy then, as well as breakfast, lunch, and tea, for they are hungry men. In the third stanza, the rhyming words are then, men. But different folk have different views. I know a person small, she keeps 10 million serving men who get no rest at all. In the fourth stanza, the rhyming words are small, all. She sends them abroad on her own affairs. From the second she opens her eyes, 1 million house, 2 million wares, and 7 million wise. In the fifth stanza, the rhyming words are eyes, wise. Kids, I hope you all have enjoyed the poem. Do recite it and complete your classwork. So, now we will be meeting in the next period with new stories, activities, and many more. Till then, have a nice day. Bye. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.